Well, hi there. Welcome to Chess-Based Workshop. My name is Steve Lopez. Thank you for clicking on that link and joining us. Today's Chess-Based Workshop is occasioned by an email that I received that said, "Dude," and it did. It actually started that way. "Dude, what's with this chess benchmark thing?" And the funny thing about the email was the way he typed "dude." It was lowercase d's and zeros instead of o's, which, since chess benchmark is a computer thing, if you want to type like a hacker, dude, maybe you should have known this already. I'm just saying. Here's the deal. What a chess benchmark is, it's a way to compare two different computers. It's a way to compare specifically your performance of your computer against a benchmark, against another computer's performance. And they actually provide you with some benchmark figures here to compare your computer's performance. Now, how you get to this is as follows. If you go to the engine menu right here at the top, pulls this ribbon down, you get a whole bunch of different options here. One of the commands is chess benchmark, and the little mouse rollover says benchmark this computer, and that's what we're going to do right now. This doesn't take very long at all. It happens so quickly. It can be done in a chess-based workshop video of fairly short duration, which would be even shorter if I were to stop yammering. So let's get on with it. Chess benchmark, click on it, and you get this lovely dialog. Just tells you all the stuff at the top, who did it. Tells you the number of logical processors found. What that means is if you got more than one processor in your computer, you have a number higher than one, or if you have a processor with multiple cores, as I do on this computer. I got a dual core computer, so I have a 2 there. You can choose whether you use one processor or 2 processors, or more if you have more. Here's the benchmark information down here. What they did was they ran this test on a computer. Well, I'll tell you what, let's start it first, and then I'll tell you what this stuff means. That way we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. To start the benchmark, all you do is click the start button, obviously. So it'll test your computer, and you'll see test running. You get a green bar running across a progress bar. Performance relative to a Pentium 3 1 gigahertz computer. That is what the benchmark is. That's what you're trying to beat, or what you're going to compare your computer against. They ran this test on a P3 1 gig computer, and what it says is 480 kilonodes per second. What that means is that computer, a Pentium 3 1 gigahertz machine, is capable of analyzing 480,000 positions, chess positions, every second. It will evaluate nearly 500,000 chess positions. So the question is, how well will your computer do? And that's what you're about to find out with the Fritz chess benchmark. Just give it a couple seconds more while I have a sip of coffee here. I'm sure it'll be done directly. Oh, that's good. Hot, too. Any second now. There we go. Bing! Now, I ran this a little while ago. What's funny about this is I ran this a short while ago, and my relative speed was 5 point something, and the number of kilonodes per second was almost 3 million positions a second. Excuse me. The reason why excuse me again, the reason why the performance has degraded is I'm running video capture software in order to make this video. But even with video capture software running, this computer running Fritz is about 3 times faster than that Pentium 3 1 gigahertz machine, because it's analyzing just over 3 times as many positions. The 1 gig machine analyzes 480,000 positions a second. This machine, even with the VidCap software running, analyzes over 1 million positions every second. 1,512,000 positions every second when that engine is running. Now, if I didn't have the VidCap software running, as I said, I ran this a little while ago, and my relative speed was actually more than 5 times faster than a P3 1 gig computer, and it was analyzing actually pretty close to 3 million positions a second. It was in the high 2 millions. But that's what that does. All you do is you click this button, and with your current performance, with everything that's currently running on your computer, you can find out how well it does compared to a P3 1 gigahertz machine. Now, why is this significant? If you run this and you're not happy with the results here under relative speed and kilonodes per second, if you have programs running in the background on your computer, antivirus programs, all kinds of graphic controllers, all sorts of things. I mean, when you go to your desktop, there's always a pile of stuff down at the bottom here in the tray, right here where the clock is. You can see down here in the lower right corner, there's a whole bunch of things that run here. If I scroll it out, there's a whole bunch of things I can turn off. Audio settings, I probably want to leave that. Light scribe, control panel, I don't need that. That's for burning little CD covers. I don't need that. I can turn that off. HP Total Care Advisor, I don't need that running either. So if I turn those off and I run this again, I will likely get a little bit better numbers here. And of course, if I turn the video capture software off, I'll get a whole lot better numbers. Everything running on your computer, everything running in the background eats up some of your computer's resources. So the more stuff you turn off, the better your speeds are going to be down here. So you can play around with it. You can turn things off, some of the background processes of your computer off, and find out what's really eating up processor time, and maybe crank Fritz up or whatever engine you're running a fair bit more by turning those things off and then running the benchmark a second time to see how those numbers change. In fact, I'll tell you what, just for chuckles, let's go ahead and do this. Remember, we got a 3.15 up here. Let's go down here. And we'll turn off a couple things that we really don't need that are running in the background. Then we'll come up here and run the benchmark again. And it may not change very much. Those things may not have been very resource consumptive, but let's find out. So we'll run the test one more time. I'm curious. I'm also thirsty. I'm having a little more coffee while this is running. By the way, in case you haven't heard yet, those of you, obviously you have internet access or you wouldn't be watching this. Those of you who are relatively fluent in English, Lubos Kovalik, Grandmaster Lubomir Kovalik, used to write a chess column for the Washington Post, and they foolishly canceled his column about a year ago. He's been picked up on the internet by the Huffington Post, which is really, really cool. If you go to the Huffington Post and you click on their sports section, that's super cool. You'll find Lubos Kovalik's chess column there now. So if you hadn't heard that news yet, just wanted to pass that on while we were waiting here. Yep, didn't make a lick of difference. Those couple things that were running in the background really weren't using very much in the way of resources. So again, I still have the same relative speed and the same kilonodes per second. What's killing the performance of Fritz on this computer right now is the fact that I'm running video capture software. So since I have some positions I'd like to analyze, I'll tell you what, I'm going to turn off the video capture software. Before I do that, I will bid you a fond adieu. We will get together again next week for another chess-based workshop. Until then, have fun.